Wow, this one surprises me a lot. I'm gonna have to talk about that. Welcome back to Yes Everyone. Today we are talking about Scaled and Icy, the 6th studio album released by 21 Pilots. Now anyone who knows me really well knows that I don't really rave about 21 Pilots. When their mega hit Stressed Out came out, I didn't really care all that much. There were things that I thought, yeah, okay, I understand why that's appealing, but I personally never let it sink in here. But because of everyone's fascination, I felt like I had to do some research, and I looked into what they're musically gifted with, and I was like, okay, no, they have talent there, so I'll admit that. But it was their songs that I still was a little iffy on, and yeah, I still need to delve deeper into their discography way more, especially after this album. However, I will say their hit Heathens for the original Suicide Squad movie back in 2016, that one I was okay with. I didn't love it, but I thought that works for exactly what the mood that I think they're trying to go for. So I gave them props for that one. But back to this album, Scaled and Icy. Firstly, I like the idea of what this album is titled, because this music apparently was produced during the pandemic, and Scaled and Icy is just a play on the phrase scaled back and isolated. So yeah, that's pretty creative already. Apparently, it might mean one or two other things, but that's the one that I'm going to highlight most here. So, what do we get with this album? Well, I think what these guys have mostly been known for is quite a strange combination of different genres. A little bit of alternative pop, a little bit of alternative hip-hop or something like that. I feel pretty strong about the indie pop thing for most of their previous stuff. But here we get so much. It's actually very fascinating to see how many different directions they go in, and for the most part, it really works for me. Now, of their 5 released singles here, the one that I gravitate to the most is Saturday. Basically feels like a 90s hit with 2000s production. It's kind of fit for today, actually, since it has a little bit of throwback, trying to be a little vintage probably isn't the word, but it's probably what kids younger than me are probably thinking of. I will also say that the hit Choker deserves its own props as well. I really like the song Formidable because it has kind of a funky classic rock feel to it. The very last track, titled Redecorate, is one that I can kind of relate to in a very strange way because of the style that it goes for. Basically, the message of the song is that you can either reflect on life or start something new and get to it. So with 3 great highlights right there, how about the rest of the album? There are nitpicks that I have with most of the remaining songs in here. The song The Outside, I don't have a lot of things to complain about this song, I just didn't feel particularly engaged or connected with it as much. The song Bounce Man kind of has a folk/country kind of feel, which is kind of different. I like that that's kind of risky, but I don't know if it landed perfectly necessarily. And the song No Chances, which actually kind of feels like it's meant for the album cover art right here. Just kind of feels slightly more fantasy-like. The only thing I'd say is that the vocals and the production don't feel like they always match 100%. But beyond that, there's not much else that I have to really dig down real deep into saying this is clearly wrong with it. Not really. I didn't fall head over heels for it, but I recognized, you know, I tolerate this way more than their other stuff, and maybe my mind and ears will change by listening to their previous stuff. I like it when I feel like I can change my mind about something that will leave a positive impact on me, and this album did a good job in doing that. So, after having listened and reviewed this album, with the following grades in the following categories here, how would I recommend this album? I am going to give it a yeah/good. Enough for me to get excited about it, just not enough for me to rave about it. Although I kind of feel like my tone almost in a way was borderlining on that, just because of my super low expectations that I had previously. If you think there is something that I should listen to after having listened to this, let me know what you think is best for me to follow up with 21 Pilots, because that would be very interesting if I completely changed my opinion on them. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you want more Yes in your life, be sure to subscribe to this channel where you can discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment that'll make you say yes.